I'm Turlough Guerin, Chair of the Ag Institute Australia. Welcome to the Chair's column of this week's Weekly Alert of the Ag Institute. Last week I asked members what contribution you'd like to make to the Ag Institute in 2019. Well, we've had some really interesting feedback so far, and I appreciate that. Some of the ideas have included some new committees for the board, one of them being a Diversity and Inclusion Committee and another one being a Grants and Sponsorship Committee. Thank you for your ideas. Please keep them coming in. We will be running a strategic event planning session in the coming weeks, so all of these ideas will feed into that as we plan our events for 2019 and early into 2020, and of course 2020 we are planning for another national conference. Late last year at the Brave New World Ag to 2030 conference, the Ag Institute launched its CAG, or Chartered Agriculturalist product. Now, at that conference we launched the handbook, and I'm hoping that many of you will have already read that and you'll be familiar with the document. Of course, I hope many of you will also consider applying for the Chartered Agriculturalist scheme. Of course, if you're a CPAG member and you were up to date in your registration and accreditation for CPAG at the time of the end of the transitioning period, which is the 30th of November last year, then this year you will be eligible to be a Chartered Agriculturalist. That was a promise that we made to members of the Ag Institute as we were developing the CAG product. If you weren't a CPAG member and you weren't accredited up until the transition cut-off period, which was the 30th November 2018, then of course you can still apply for the CAG product. Just contact the national office and you'll be directed to complete the application. So I encourage you to, if you haven't already taken up the CAG offer, to look into that now as you go into your renewal and do your renewals, which hopefully you'll also be you'll be doing or have already done this year. The other thing that we promised that we release as soon as possible was the more detailed document behind the handbook. So this document I've just looked at, it's with the printers now. That will be published on the Ag Institute website next week, so be sure to go to the website and have a look. It goes into a lot more detail as to how the handbook was developed, and in fact how the CAG product was developed based on international best practice, and more details on the requirements of what's required to fulfil the requirements of being a Chartered Agriculturalist. So please have a look at both the handbook and the more detailed base document, and of course consider and register and get your certification at the appropriate level, whether it be CPAG or CAG. And last year we also indicated that we will be undertaking a review of the Chartered Agriculturalist product and scheme, so please send through any feedback and comments on both the handbook and the more detailed document, and we will consider all the comments as we do, and we will provide feedback as to how we will address those as we undertake the review. Thanks very much.